It's happening again. Congress is deadlocked over the federal budget. But this time, there's a shocking twist. Lawmakers might lose their own paychecks if they don't get the job done. A new wave of proposals under the No Budget, No Pay banner is sweeping through Washington. The message is simple: if Congress can't pass a budget on time, they don't get paid. No exceptions. No excuses. This could be one of the biggest accountability moves in U.S. political history, and it's stirring up heated debate in both parties. In this video, we'll break down why this proposal is gaining momentum in 2025. How it could impact government workers, Social Security, and the economy. What history tells us about previous shutdowns. And what happens if lawmakers' paychecks actually stop. Stay tuned through. All the last one reveals what this could mean for your taxes, benefits, and paychecks going into 2026. The root of the crisis. Every year, Congress must pass 12 spending bills to fund government operations, everything from the military to Social Security offices. But in recent years, gridlock has become the norm. Budgets are delayed, stopgap measures are rushed, and agencies face shutdown threats. Key facts: the fiscal year starts October 1st, but Congress rarely meets that deadline. Continuing resolutions are used to buy time, often leading to chaos. Federal employees and contractors are left uncertain, while Americans worry about Social Security, Medicare, and benefits. The No Budget, No Pay Act aims to fix this recurring dysfunction by hitting lawmakers where it hurts most: their wallets. What no budget, no pay really means. The principle is brutally simple: if Congress fails to pass a budget on time, their paychecks stop until they do. This means every senator and representative would forfeit their $174,000 annual salary during any period of delay. Supporters argue, it's common sense, you shouldn't get paid for not doing your job. It would pressure lawmakers to compromise faster. It restores public trust and accountability. Critics respond, it could be unconstitutional under the 27th Amendment, which bars immediate changes to congressional pay. It risks turning budget debates into political theater instead of policy progress. Some fear it could hurt lower-income members of Congress more than wealthy ones. Still, the movement has gained huge popularity among taxpayers frustrated by political standoffs. Where the idea came from. The No Budget, No Pay slogan isn't new. It first gained traction around 2013, when a version briefly became law during a previous debt ceiling crisis. Since then, multiple lawmakers from both parties, including new 2025 members, have revived it as a symbol of accountability. Recent versions of the proposal have gone further, suggesting that lawmakers' salaries be held in escrow until a full-year budget passes. That means they wouldn't technically lose pay, but they wouldn't receive it until they did their jobs. The idea has bipartisan public support, even if it's politically inconvenient in Washington. Why 2025 is different. So why is the movement exploding again now? Because the stakes are higher than ever. In 2025, the U.S. faces record federal debt over $35 trillion. Rising interest payments costing more than defense spending. A divided Congress unable to agree on tax or spending reforms. Another looming government shutdown. This time, ordinary Americans are losing patience. Social media, advocacy groups, and voter polls show overwhelming frustration with Congress's repeated failures to pass budgets on time. And for the first time, lawmakers are openly saying, maybe we shouldn't get paid if the government shuts down. What happens during a shutdown? When Congress fails to pass a budget, here's what happens step by step. Non-essential services close, parks, museums, and federal offices go dark. Federal employees are furloughed, millions stop getting paid. Social Security and Medicare continue, but customer service slows. Tax refunds and benefits face delays. the economy loses billions per week in productivity. Meanwhile, Congress keeps getting paid, even as other Americans lose theirs. That's the anger driving this movement. What lawmakers are saying. The idea has triggered intense debate in Washington. Supporters claim Congress should feel the same pressure as the American people. Accountability could finally break budget stalemates. Public trust in government might improve. Opponents argue the Constitution makes pay changes complicated. It could encourage reckless short-term deals just to unlock paychecks. Wealthier lawmakers wouldn't feel the impact anyway. Still, the bill has drawn rare bipartisan support, especially from newly elected members seeking to prove they're not part of the problem. The real consequences if it passes. If no budget, no pay actually becomes law, it could dramatically change how Washington operates. Possible effects include faster budget negotiations to avoid missed paychecks, fewer continuing resolutions and last-minute funding extensions, more public transparency over congressional pay, increased accountability, and possibly less gridlock. However, there's a risk lawmakers might resort to symbolic fake budgets to meet deadlines without real reform. So while it sounds great on paper, enforcement will be key. What it means for you. While the law targets Congress, ordinary Americans would feel the ripple effects too. If the bill succeeds, shutdowns may become less frequent. Federal paychecks and Social Security processing would face fewer delays. Markets might react positively to reduced political uncertainty. If it fails, expect more shutdowns, furloughs, and benefit disruptions. Tax processing and refunds could slow again. Faith in government accountability would continue to erode. For millions of Americans depending on stable government services, this debate isn't just politics, it's personal. Could it really happen? There are still major hurdles before no budget, no pay becomes reality. Legal experts point to the 27th Amendment, which states that any change in congressional pay can't take effect until after the next election. That means even if passed, lawmakers wouldn't feel the impact until the following term, unless Congress finds a legal workaround. Still, with massive public pressure and bipartisan frustration, the idea could gain enough traction to shape how budgets are handled for years to come. The 2025 budget fight is just heating up. If Congress fails to pass a funding deal soon, we could see another government shutdown, and possibly the strongest push yet for no budget, no pay. For now, the message from voters is clear: if you don't do your job, you shouldn't get paid. Whether Congress listens this time remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure: accountability in Washington may never be the same again. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe to American Finance Today for more updates on Social Security, tax news, and retirement planning.